Morning.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, good morning. How's everyone?
Good.
Doing okay. How about you?
So far, so good. Thank you.
Good. Good, good. Good start.
It's supposed to be like almost 70 degrees out, so that can't be bad for February. Little strange, but
Just wait for
exciting.
tomorrow, though. Just wait. It will.
I know the high tomorrow's 32, so
Yeah, definitely enjoy today.
enjoy today.
It's been really nice, though. We've been
Yeah.
kind of spoiled, so.
Okay. All right.
Clint Persy. Is that the Clint Persy?
That it is.
My buddy from Iroquois County.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Cammie, you know everybody.
Well, no, not everybody. I always say it's a small town and I've lived here all my life. So do the math.
There you go.
I've never been connected to Clint Persy due to like in trouble with the law.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to clarify that.
Clarify that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right. I'm gonna give it like just maybe another 30 seconds to a minute. We still have people popping on, so
Sounds good.
Hi, Donnie Gill.
okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Before I share a PowerPoint, I like to do introductions just open so we can see everybody. So I'll probably just call on people, just your name and your organization, and then we'll jump in. So I'm Frankie Ward. I'm the recovery specialist with Ford County ROSC. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to go to Barb next.
Hi, I am Barb Brumlevy. I'm a community health specialist at Chestnut and working on the Ford County ROSC. I also support McLean County ROSC too. Happy to be here and happy to see all your faces. Thanks.
And we'll do Cammie.
Hi, I'm Cammie Garrison. I'm with the statewide ROSC through Chestnut Health, and I am the Region 3 technical assistant. And I'm here just to find out what's going on in Ford County. And also, these are all my people. So I always love being on this meeting.
Thank you, Cammie. We'll do Jeff.
Good choice, Frankie. My name is Jeff McFadden. I'm the System of Care Coordinator for the Bridgeways West Central Illinois ROSC. I am formerly the System of Care Coordinator for the McDonough-Fulton County ROSC, which I'm still fulfilling both roles until we can get the appropriate individual hired. And, I'm the Region 3 mentor, so I get the pleasure and privilege of working with all these fine people. Good to see everyone.
Thanks, Jeff. We'll do Nadia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nadia Kleekamp. I work at Chestnut Health Systems, but I am here to support. It's been a few months since I've been able to attend Ford County. I am helping support while Carrie is out of town today. So welcome, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Tim.
Hello, my name is Tim Nuss. I'm with the Ford County Board, here to do anything we can to help and promote ROSC and all the great works that they do. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Tristan.
Good morning. My name is Tristan McGrew. I'm serving with the Recovery Corps and also working on the Logan Mason County ROSC project. Thank you.
Welcome, Tristan. Beverly.
Good morning, I'm Beverly Holland. I am the Technical Assistant Specialist for Region 5. So thank you for having me. It's nice to visit.
Thank you for being here. We'll go to Donnie. Oh, I don't think his mic is working. Nope. Okay. He's with Ford County Public Health Department. We'll do Abby.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Abby Behrens. I'm with Brightpoint in Bloomington, and I work with the Butterfly Project, which services Ford County.
Thank you, Abby. Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Anderson. I am the Director of Ford County Probation.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. We'll do Helena.
Good morning. I'm Helena Longfellow, and I'm a nurse practitioner at Muhammad Health in Gibson with Gibson Hospital.
Thank you, Helena.
Mhm.
Dave.
Dave King, community, what is my title? Community Outreach Manager at Carl Health. Thanks.
Thanks, Dave. We'll go to Odette.
Good morning. For some reason, I'm having difficulty with showing my video, but good morning, everyone. I'm Odette Hyatt Watson. I represent East Central Illinois Community Action Agency. We serve Ford, Iroquois, and Vermilion counties. Thank you.
Thanks, Odette. We will go to Jeanette if you're able to talk. If you're still driving, then.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeanette Davis. I'm the Community Health Specialist for Recovery Support for the Logan Mason ROSC. And I am traveling today, but excited to join you all and hear about the great things you're doing there in Ford County. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jeanette. We'll go to Clint.
I'm Clint Persini. I'm the Iroquois County Sheriff. I'm working with Barb King, the head of probations in Iroquois County, through their opioid coalition, and we're working on our STAR program, the Sheriff's Treatment and Recovery Reentry.
Awesome. Thank you, Clint. Jennifer from Carl.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Gomez, outreach worker for Carl, primarily focused on Vermilion County.
Thank you, Jennifer. And Grace.
Hi, I'm Grace Irvin. I'm a prevention coordinator at Chestnut Health Systems serving Logan Mason ROSC. I'm just here to learn what you guys are doing.
Thanks, Grace. Okay, I think I got everybody. Looks like it. All the squares move around, so it's hard to keep track. Okay. Share my screen really quick. Okay. Can everybody see that okay? Yeah, okay, good. And more person. Well, thank you guys all for being here. Every month, 8:30 in the morning, it's an early meeting, so I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me as a person working with Ross. Oh my gosh, sorry. A person that lives in Ford County, and then especially a person in recovery. So just seeing all the collaboration and you guys joining it really means a lot to me. This month I sent ahead the agenda, which I don't think I've ever done before. I'm going to try to start doing that moving forward, but specifically this month I wanted to do it because we are going to do breakout rooms, excuse me, and we have preset questions or discussion questions to kind of help guide the conversation. So we're going to talk a little bit about stigma reduction, specifically in Ford County, starting with 15-minute breakout rooms. We have 3 facilitators going to help out with that. Then we're going to jump into a large group discussion, just kind of share what we talked about in the breakouts. I have a few ROSC updates, some available trainings that I'm sharing with you guys, and then I'll stop sharing. We can do our updates at the end. So like I said, we're going to be talking about stigma. I'm sure in our lifetime, we've all felt, if not felt, then definitely seen stigma no matter what it is towards. But today we're going to specifically be talking about stigma surrounding substance use disorder, which is rooted in the belief that an individual struggles with substances is a personal choice that reflects a lack of willpower and is a moral failing. Obviously, we know that's not the case, which is why we really want to provide this campaign for Ford County and beyond. I really believe that most of the stigma stems from a lack of understanding and a lack of knowledge. I'm guilty of this myself. until working with ROSC, I had my own judgments and perpetuating stigma about certain things when it comes to substance use disorder. And through trainings and education and all of that, I've completely changed my mind. So I really think that with a campaign like this, we get more people like myself just changing our minds. We are going to be doing the breakout rooms in a second. We're going to have 3 rooms with 3 facilitators. So it's going to be myself, Barb, and Cami. They're going to be 15 minutes long, and we have 4 questions. I sent those ahead. If you don't have them with you, that's totally fine. I have them here if you want to take a picture really quick. And our facilitators also have these questions. It's in what ways are you seeing substance use disorder, or SUD, present itself in Ford County? The second question is, in what ways is stigma creating barriers to accessing resources throughout Ford County, or just overall, what barriers do you believe that stigma is creating in Ford County? The third is, how can we encourage open and honest dialogue about SUD in our counties? And the fourth one is just kind of a more general question. What strategies have you seen used to successfully combat stigma, and which ones were less successful? I just want to say we have been working actually with Logan Mason County ROSC. They're on here today to kind of have a unified message and to create a stigma reduction campaign. But we also realize that we're 2 different counties. So we do want to take this time to talk with you guys, our council, get information from you and have a discussion, bring that with the collaboration with Logan Mason, and hopefully make the best possible stigma reduction campaign for Ford County that we possibly can. So I'm going to stop sharing. Maybe. And Nadia is going to put us in our breakout rooms. We've never done this here, I don't think, before, so hopefully it goes smooth.
And if you come back to the main room, I'll put you back in your breakout room. It'll be great. So I'm opening it now. Just says error.
Oh, it says I'm recording. Does it matter? Or is that bad that I did that?
Is it on? Oh, you're going. Yeah, you go. You get it.
Just said promoting and okay. Yeah.
It's on, girl. It's on.
Okay, yay. All right, I'm going to share the screen again. I'm just going to put up the questions and we'll go through. We didn't make it to the last question in my group, but okay. Let me one. Okay. All right, so here's the questions. And then I guess, like I said, we'll just have a large group kind of bring all of our ideas together and our discussions together. And then if there's something you want to add that you didn't think of, or maybe, I don't know who all made it to the 4th question. We didn't. So maybe we'll just share all of this. So the first question, and we'll just go in order of what we talked about. In what ways are you seeing substance use disorder stigma present itself in Ford County? Anybody want to go first?
I can start. Am I off of? I don't even know if I'm off of mute.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm just going to get to my notes. I'll just start here. Yeah, we had a great group. So for the first question, in what ways are you seeing SUD stigma present itself in Ford County? The biggest thing, I guess, and Jennifer Anderson can anyone from my group can jump in and just, add or whatever, but just that basically, like, long-term older community members, it's hard to overcome. A lot of times you see the same people maybe going in and out of the jails or getting in and out of trouble. And, a lot of people that don't understand substance use disorder, the disease itself, just doesn't think change is possible. Recovery is possible. Also was noted that actually, if you compare Paxton to Gibson, it appears that Gibson's a little bit more open to change. It appears that, more, maybe younger generations are becoming involved in Gibson City more so than Paxton. So Paxton definitely has, just, people that have been there longer. And I think in smaller towns anywhere, really, it takes time to get over that. So it's just hard for people to grasp that understanding of what SUD, that is an actual disorder. It's not a moral failing. It's not willpower, all of that. Anyway, we're just happy that also Jennifer started the Sarah program in Ford County, so that's great. But I don't want to take up everyone's time, so we can go on. That's mainly what we talked about. Just yeah, it's just hard that people, that are set in their ways, or you have your own mindset. So it's all about education, really, just getting out there, getting your face out there.
Yeah,
that's what we discussed.
Thanks, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, Kimmy?
So we just some words I jotted down, just general misunderstanding and misinformation. Tim said complete apathy. So like you don't really care about other people's problems until it's too late.
Yeah.
And then we talked about not understanding generational trauma, or that for some people that's just their normal, is turning to substances to cope because that's what they've seen and that's what they know. And we think like, well, just stop doing that. Well, that's just, bred in them from generations. So those are some notes that I wrote.
Awesome, thank you. We discussed one big place I think that we're seeing it in Ford County is actually social media. Maybe it's like article about an individual getting arrested or something, or just a post about an individual, and then just in the comment section, just all kinds of stigmatizing words and all of that stuff. So that is a huge spot that we're seeing it specifically in Ford County. Employment and healthcare is another place that it's was talked about. We had internalized stigma, a lot of that also throughout Ford County. That's really everywhere. I felt that myself many times. So, and then maybe the stigmatizing towards alcohol versus other drugs. So alcohol being more acceptable, and then the other, whatever substances they are, being more stigmatized, I guess, and especially rural community. So those are some of the things that we talked about for question number 1. Anything else for question number 1? Okay. Number 2, I can't read it. In what ways is stigma creating barriers to accessing resources throughout Ford County? Anybody want to go first?
I'll go. I had said, I feel like there's some harm reduction programs that we could put into place. And I just have a feeling those will get pushback from certain community members.
Yeah, 100%. We talked about just medication assisted recovery.
Yes.
Maybe individuals not going that path because of the stigma surrounding it. And we are fortunate enough to have providers here in Ford County, but there's still that barrier or fear, I guess, of being judged or things like that. So that is one of the things that we mainly talked about. Anybody else?
Oh, go ahead, Frankie. What was that?
Oh, I said anybody else?
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I think just one of the barriers is that that silent judgment, the biases that people have that they're not even aware of. The misconception that all people who use drugs are criminals, that drugs are bad, right? Because that's been the message since the 80s, which directly converts into people who use drugs are bad, right? Or they're just lazy, right? What's the other thing? They're diseased, they can't help themselves, they're homeless, right? Or they choose, right? They make a choice to continue to use. So
yeah. 100%.
Most definitely. Yeah. And Christine was in our group also, and if I'm thinking, let me just, basically it was about MAR and just how there were some people in my group that, don't necessarily live in Ford County, but it's like a universal thing, right? Like definitely one example was given of, someone that had gotten out of, say, a treatment or whatnot, and he was very reluctant to even try more, use more, because he didn't want any type of drug, because he thought that was just all bad, And I think until you learn more about the disorder and how the medication helps, that we all can have that stigma. And then just, there's always that stigma about, say, as a resource, like meetings, like even just because you know everyone in town, you don't want people to know, things like that. And then and then another note was about just how, in small towns, everybody knows you, they know everything you did, so they still are going to view you the same way that you were, and then that converts to reluctancy for resources, for rent, to get a job, and all of that. So those are big barriers right there.
I think we also talked about just the overall stigma and it being a barrier to even just individuals entering recovery. I know
Yes.
I was reluctant to say that out of my mouth because of all the stigma surrounding it, that I think my recovery journey started a lot later than it could have had I not been scared to be judged or things like that. So I think just stigma is a barrier just for individuals to even start recovery because of being scared to say it.
That was me. Yeah. Probably would have started a long time earlier, if I didn't have that stigma in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Are in-person meetings a good thing, or do they work against somebody trying to get into recovery? I feel like in a small town, people are less apt to go to a meeting because they know everybody.
Yeah. 100%. Also, there's not very, very many meetings, but yeah, I think that just goes in with, it's a small town. You don't want this person to know because you are scared of the judgment when it comes to struggling with whatever substance or problem or issue that you're having. So yeah, and I think also we kind of talked about the stigma surrounding multiple paths to recovery. And I went a long time thinking that I wasn't still in recovery because my recovery path wasn't matching what is the known recovery path and all of that stuff. So I think that's also just a sad thing for me, I guess. And now I know I'm still in recovery. I continue to be in recovery. And I'm able to now share my story because I accept the fact that my path is what it is, and hopefully help in reducing stigma. So I think it's just like a big circle, I guess, of yeah. Okay, so the third, go ahead, Barb.
Oh no, I was just going to say a quick thing about that in meetings is it took me forever, there's all pathways. My first main pathway was going to 12-step meetings. It took me forever to walk in those doors. I grew up in Bloomington Normal, felt like I didn't want anyone to know anything, just that stigma. So it took me forever. When I finally did walk into the first meeting, I was so afraid I'd see somebody I knew. I didn't get it at all. And I did see somebody I knew from high school from years ago, and it was wonderful. And it's like, once I was finally there, it actually, it's uncomfortable. But when you start hearing people talk, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm home, because these people understand, everybody understands what I have been going through. Like, you can just relate. So if you, even in a small town, I mean, you think it's going to be horrible to see somebody that but they're there for the same reason. But you don't really quite click and get that. And then once you start going, you understand, like, oh my gosh, this is why didn't I do this a long time ago? It's just really hard to make that first step. But then when you do, it's like home, and it's very welcoming. Usually, it just depends on a lot of things, but go ahead. Sorry for.
No, thank you. That's awesome. Okay.
So is that something that I should continue working on in Iroquois County, or focus more on, or no?
Are you talking about for meetings, like in
Yes.
meetings?
Yes.
I think there should be as many meetings as possible and all different types of meetings. There's 12-step meetings, there's smart recovery, there's all different types. But I would definitely focus on that because that's, we, as a person in recovery, that's what we need. We need meetings. It can be in person, it can be Zoom. In person is better, but the more that's available, the better. It's a community. It builds a recovery community, and for
Peer
people in
support.
recovery. Yeah. And you want it for us. I mean, for people in recovery, we recover because we accept our disorder or whatnot, but then to help other people, we're helping other people at these meetings. We're helping each other. And that is one of the biggest things that we can do. And so I would say the more meetings, the better. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I think we want as many recovery path options out there as possible.
Yes.
I don't continue to do 12 steps, but 12 steps and Celebrate Recovery were the first 2 years of my recovery, and I'm thankful for that every day.
Sure.
So I think just whatever is going to work is going to work for that person. Whatever they want is their path. But I think having as many options for individuals in recovery or looking for recovery is just the best answer, whether it be medication, whether it be peer support groups, whether it be art, like whatever it is. I think the more options that we have, the better. So
if I could just jump in real quickly, Frankie and I guess it was last week we talked.
Yeah.
We talked about this quite a bit, actually, as it relates to the 12-step community, but I'll just say decreasing stigma, addressing stigma positively impacts every pathway to recovery.
Yes.
Not just 12 steps, not just, so it impacts all of the recovery capital pathways, if you will, that we're trying to address. Like it helps improve healthcare. It helps improve vocational things. It helps improve, access to mutual aid support groups. All of these things. So, unfortunately, the 12-step community, it's the largest group, perhaps. I don't mean that, unfortunately, but if they're the largest group and hold stigmatizing beliefs, they should be a group that we would want to reach out to. Doesn't mean they can't continue to attend 12-step groups. I do. It just means that they, like for me, it actually broadens my my perspective on recovery and helps me within my own group, to address stigma. And so that's why I'm saying and then unfortunately, with the 12-step community growing out of, the prohibition movement, basically, and anonymity being so strongly emphasized, it's just perpetuated that. And, that's part of what, at least, I try to do. I will say one last thing and then be quiet. We did a meeting in Vermilion County, in the little town of Hoopston. We were asked by a recovery group to attend. And it was like it was a citizen something or other subcommittee of the community. Anyway, we did a little presentation. They started asking all these questions that were all about stigma, about treatment and about access and so on and so forth. And I actually heard one of the gentlemen say that was on the board say, I came in here thinking X about substance use. I'm walking out believing Y. Totally different. Now, I don't know if that stuck, but just the fact that he was exposed and heard, the message, I think that's just so powerful. So partly to Clint's question, absolutely in small communities, absolutely in every community is what I'm saying, So that's it.
That's awesome, Dave. Thanks. That's a win.
Yeah.
At that meeting. That's awesome.
I have a quick question on the 12-step programs. As everyone knows, I live in a very rural community. In Ford County, we have Paxton, we have Gibson. Well, I live in the areas where my biggest town is 750 people in my district. I don't even know where there is a 12-step program going on or anything I could address or send people to or anything like that. Can anybody give me an idea where there is one that I could? let the people know how and where they could attend and everything?
Yeah, for sure, Tim. We have actually a list that we have compiled together for Ford County meetings. I can send you that in an email. And then also we have our virtual resource cards, which I can get you a stack of those too. But yeah, I'll send you that information after the meeting.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no
And there's
problem.
Zoom too, like Zoom meetings. So
yeah, I
that
think
was-
there's a lot of good online meetings as well, which
Yep.
is really awesome for us rural communities, definitely.
Any information I can get, I'll be more than happy to take and distribute among the people.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim. Okay, we'll move on to the third question. How can we encourage open and honest dialogue about SUD and our communities? Where's my notes?
Yeah, we had just gotten to that. We didn't get to 4, like I said. Really the main thing that came out of that is, you know, people with lived experience, people using their voices, showing yourself, showing up, using your voices, talking about recovery is possible. You know, and maybe a good thing too, Jeff McFadden had said they've had a lot of luck in their area by panels with PLEs and just promoting and encouraging different types of panels. It's almost like, you know, what Dave was saying, how they just went in to speak to the whatever kind of meeting that was. Can't I put it on here, but anyway, in Hoopston, that just, and maybe have a few people with lived experience, allies, you know, and that's one way. Just we do need to speak out loud, like Dave was saying, the anonymity part with AA, that it's better. How's anybody going to know that you know people recover if they don't talk about it? So
yeah, we talked about that, about sharing our stories. I can continue to try to share my story, just spread hope and all of that. And then also it was mentioned just about ROSC, supporting ROSC and sharing about ROSC. This is a good way to bring organizations, stakeholders, doctor, just everybody together with people with lived experience, which is, we're going to continue to build that sector of this council, but bringing everyone together and having conversations. I think that's what ROSC is conversations, collaboration, hearing one another, sharing resources, and then hearing from the people with lived experience obviously makes sense. So that was one of the things, was really just start sharing ROSC, building up our ROSC even more, and supporting ROSC. So that's one of the things we talked about.
And Christine, just real quick, I'm sorry, she put something in the chat. Is that for a NA meeting, virtual Zoom? Okay, so that is in the chat. But I'm going to try to capture that. But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Anybody else want to add to the open and honest dialogue?
That's basically what my group talked about. Taking it to the people, reminding that everyone can help. So maybe you think you don't know how to help somebody, but everyone can help and be an ally.
Yeah.
Getting to know people on a personal level and continuing to hear personal stories is always going to be helpful.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. And then really quick with the last question, we didn't come up with anything. I do want to have time for everybody else to give updates with their agency updates and all of that. So the last question is, what strategies have you seen successful to combat stigma and which ones were less successful? If you have any. We never got to that question. And
so
yeah,
my group did not get there either, but just on a personal level from previous job experiences that I have had, I feel like when people in power positions in your community, the change makers, the rainmakers, the lawmakers, when they show support and understanding and empathy for a like possibly polarizing topic, that shows the people that are experiencing it that, wow, people really do care about this and people really do have an understanding. That is what we have found when I was working in the sexual assault arena. is that victims are more likely to come forward when they think the people that are in the positions to help them understand it and don't have a stigma towards it.
Yeah.
So I feel like whenever we can show that the sheriff and the probation department and the school principals understand this and have empathy towards it, it's going to it's just going to have more people feeling comfortable to come forward. So I don't know that that's necessarily a campaign.
Yeah.
I just think it's a part of the strategy.
Yeah, 100%.
And then as far as like less successful strategies, like we all know now that like just say no didn't work. The DARE program and all of that, anytime it's like it's scary stories or it's, you know, scared straight, those don't work.
Yeah.
But I think we all know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And the only thing that I can at the moment think of at the top of my head is just share, like you're pretty much saying, sharing also hope and recovery, not focusing so much on the things that I've done when I was struggling and all of
Right.
that stuff, but just really sharing the hopeful part of recovery and just
Mhm.
all of that I think is huge. Like you said, the scary whatever stuff that goes along with it sometimes it doesn't really have a place, and it's not as obviously important as all the hope that comes from recovery. And I think that is also important. So kind of is the successful and less successful all in one.
If I could jump in, sorry,
Celebrating
Frank.
recovery, like, you know, focusing on recovery celebrations, anniversaries, successes, like, you know, that instead of like the smash the stigma, you know what I mean? Or the anti-stigma, you know, move the conversation into, you know, what positive things, you know, are happening for people in recovery. Like they have the free laundry day and they have like these wellness groups, you know, and they do like little dinner theaters. I mean, all of that, you know, is great, man. All of that sends a big message, I think.
Thank you.
I'll just jump in with two things. If any of you have seen during football season the Indianapolis Colts campaign on stigma, I don't know if you all saw that, but you know, Irsay, the owner of the Colts, is in long-term recovery, and you know, just go to the NFL, you know, or Google it up, and they have a full-blown campaign with you know, YouTube videos of players, you know, talking about how to end stigma. Anyway, what I also want to say, I just want to shout out Amy Bechtel's presentation last week in the faith-based thing that she did, because she talked about, I think that we need to use data and look at outcomes rather than what we think, because I just think it's very informative. And I learned so much from Amy, and I want to be able to adapt some of that, because she talked about if you're looking for attitudinal change or if you're looking for cognitive change, right? There's some specific, and that's, it just stuck with me. I got to go back and learn all that. But I think that's what we need to look at, right? We got to measure it. So it's like, if we've done a presentation, how do we even know that it made a difference? And secondly, it has to be targeted, just like the stages of change stuff that we're doing, you know, for people and behavior change and recovery. We need to do the same thing when we're looking at prevention and stigma. Just my opinion, you know, that how do we do that? So like she said, if you want to get people to feel differently, you got to touch them where they feel, you know? And I was like, oh, wow, that's something. So that's what I think about some of these things, you know, in terms of what's most successful. And that came straight out of her, you know, her presentation, and I know Nadia was there, and I mean it was, or at least I think you were there, Nadia, but I mean it was amazing. So
That's awesome. Do you know if that's recorded anywhere or
it was
anything like that?
recorded, I believe, and I think the slides, I have to go back and look, because it just happened last week and I just haven't even had time to go back and digest it all, because it's just it has application to across many different venues or populations, not just faith-based.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really good.
It was definitely recorded.
Okay.
but I don't know if they sent us a link with the slides to be able to
Right.
to
It
go
will
back
be,
and see it.
it'll be coming out. Yeah, it'll be uploaded and the link to the recordings will be posted through that coalition support email that sent the guidance out.
Okay. Well, if there's any way, I don't know if I get that, but if any, Frankie, do you get that?
We'll get you connected, Barb. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right,
And
just
I
quick up. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to show real quick. Jeanette just put the link to the Colts stigma campaign, which is awesome, in the chat. So I will put that. I'm going to try to capture that, and I'll have that in the minutes as well. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna actually skip through. I'll send all this in the minutes. Here's some updates of our things. I told you last month I'm going to try to start sharing available trainings that are out there for you. So these I'll send along with you with the minutes. Now I want to open it up for you guys real quick. Hopefully, just in case you guys have updates or questions, comments, any of that, please. Any events coming up?
Yeah, any updates for your agencies or yourself or anything?
If you saw in the chat, Jennifer had to hop off early, but she said that Ford County probation, the coat drive has been awesome, and they've had great involvement from the community.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's
that's very
great.
exciting. There's no updates. We just distributed our warming resource bags that has information, resources in it, hygiene products, snacks, hats, gloves, socks, all of that stuff. We have 10 in Gibson. I have 5 on hand, I think, and then the rest, probation is actually housing for us to distribute to the Ford County Jail. We're talking earlier about the Safety Act and MAR and all of that stuff, and what do we do, and HMIT and all that stuff. So for now, Ford County this is one way for us to get this information into individuals' hands. Share about MAR Now, which is a really good program, local resources, and things like that. So that's kind of our answer for now. I'm really excited about those bags. And we're going to be doing them again in the spring, summer. So if you ever want to be a part of that or put resources in there or donate supplies, we'll be doing that spring, summertime again. So any other questions, comments, updates?
Only thing I have to say is, again, Tim Nuss, Ford County Board, we meet the second Monday of every month. If anybody is ever willing to come to that meeting, I know it's really enlightening and everybody wants to spend an evening doing that. 7 p.m. basement of the Sheriff's Building. I see stigma even on my county board, and I keep bringing it up every single month and try to tell about it. And I see people look down and they don't want to address it and so on and so forth. But I want to keep the conversation going. I want to stay in their face. I want them to see that it's, all of us. It's not just me. And I take it to town council meetings. Show up to your meetings and just take some minutes on the floor, get the conversation going in all these different areas that you'll never expect to see this at. That's what I want to do. Yeah. And I want to help build my coalition on the board for that and a better understanding of it and on these town councils. So please reach out, attend a meeting that you normally wouldn't attend. We need it. Sorry.
Thank you, Tim. No, that's amazing. And thank you for constantly updating ROSC information with the Ford County Board. Regardless of the people looking down and things like that. So we appreciate you so much, Tim.
So much. Thank you.
If there's nothing else, we're getting to the end of our meeting. This is a really good discussion. It helps a lot. I appreciate you all so much. It's been a really good meeting. So thank you.
Yes, thanks everyone. We'll see.
Thank you very much for all you do.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay.